Another stop on our South Central Oklahoma garden tour brings us to Ardmore, and we're out at the Hardy Murphy Coliseum. And here to tell us about some of the landscaping in this area is Norma Lynne Paschall, the Ardmore Beautification Council Executive Director. Hey Norma Lynne, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Steve. Glad to have you in Southern Oklahoma.
It's great to be here. Well, this is certainly a beautiful garden out here, and I'm just curious, what did this area look like about a year ago?
About a year ago, it was just plain grass, had the sign, the flagpole, but absolutely no enhancement.
Okay. And tell me how this garden came about. How did this all come together and get installed here?
Well, Hardy Murphy Coliseum had done a lot of improvements to their facility, to the barns in the back, and this is where we have a lot of the agricultural events in our community. And so Tim Lynch, who runs the Coliseum, contacted us because he wanted to add some enhancement to the front. The
Sure.
very first spot that people see as they come to the Coliseum. And so he contacted the Ardmore Beautification Council to work with them and help develop something of interest.
Okay. And you guys chose a xeric theme, and is there a particular reason?
We did because we did not have a location where people in the community could come see xeriscape gardening so that they might look at it and decide they'd like to have some plants like this at their home. And we felt like that it was a good thing to have because xeriscape takes very little maintenance, takes very little water, and so we wanted to provide a public example.
Okay, and you've done an excellent job. I just love the plant material you've chosen here. Very nice, tough plants.
Thank you.
Handle the southern Oklahoma summers and winters, and if we have a dry year, the plants are still looking great like this autumn sage here, the Salvia greggii, got some blooms. And I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you don't have to have just all cacti in a xeriscape. You can have some flowering plants. And you guys have also added lots of delicate foliage plants here with the grasses. We got the switchgrass here and the Mexican feathergrass, and also the hardscape in this area adds so much interest and texture. And I understand there's a story behind a lot of these rocks. Where did those come from?
Yes, the rocks were all harvested from a local ranch, from the Dobby Ranch. They were generous enough to allow them to go out and pick the rocks exactly. Every rock they wanted was hand-picked.
Okay, so. All right. They're beautiful. I love the colors of those rocks. And when you place these large boulders, I know you guys were really specific in the people putting this in, that you wanted those boulders buried a little bit so they look natural. Yes,
we didn't want them to look like they had fallen out of the sky, but that they were natural to this landscape.
Okay. Well, the landscape has sort of a western appeal to it, and up on the sign, Hardy Murphy. For those of us who are not familiar with this area, can you tell us a little bit about who Hardy Murphy is? Hardy
Murphy was a western showman, and he was lived in Ardmore, grew up here, and he was very popular in the 30s and 40s. And he has 2 horses that were buried here on site, and so this was dedicated to his name.
Okay, and this sort of western look kind of matches, kind of goes with the Hardy Murphy theme, I guess, a little bit.
Exactly. We thought to have a western flair in the landscaping would be a good matchup with the Coliseum.
Okay, are there any other people who would been involved in this project as well?
Yes, we actually, Tim Lynch with Hardy Murphy Coliseum contacted us, and Hardy Murphy Coliseum put part of the funds in it. The Beautification Council did, but we also had local citizens who are great supporters of this facility and the things that we do, and they actually, individuals put funding into this as well. Okay,
great, outstanding. A great effort by lots of different groups. Okay, well, it is a beautiful garden, and one of the really neat plants I see out here is the red yucca. I just love that plant. It's so drought tolerant, it's so tough, native to the western part of Texas. They do great here in Oklahoma, attract the hummingbirds to the garden, and it's hard to believe that these weren't here last year. I'm sure those were planted in really large pots.
Yes, we used Judy Parsons with the garden tender was the person who helped us select the plants that would work very well, and this is also who placed the plants in the garden and selected the places where each of the rocks were put.
Okay, well she did a really good job positioning all this and really helping landscape this area.
We think so too.
Okay, well Norma, Lynne, thank you so much for showing us this garden.
Thank you.